So it has been a little bit of a while once again. I've been having quite a few breaks on the Grab a Hog account, but we are now officially back. We are now officially back playing and back on the grind for our big targets. Now, since I've officially done the last Grab a Hog episode, quite a few things have happened. Haven Hive has now been in the game for roughly about a week, in a couple of days. And I haven't really explored it apart from doing the quest guide and then also doing one of the other little videos as well. Now, what I've been doing, I've been ill, I've been home, I've been at a wedding. It's really been quite a busy couple of weeks. But what I've been trying to do is focus in on one of the goals we spoke about during one of my goal videos, and that has been to go and focus on invention. Now, invention, you need 3 core skills to be able to unlock invention. You need 80 crafting, smithing, and divination. Now, one of the problem skills to do this is going to be divination. Divination is historically quite slow, but I've been sort of grinding away. That's when you know you really are ill, if you're enjoying divination and not dreading the process of doing this as well. And it's actually been quite a nice chill skill to do. Now, the benefit with doing divination as well is you also get to train your hunter. So currently, as of now, I am level 78 divination, which is massive. Like, we've done so well with divination. I have gathered a total of 8.8 thousand memory strands, which are quite tricky to get hold of, and are going to be very beneficial in a minute as well. I've also restored some engrams, which we're going to go and hand in a minute. And then I've also unlocked the ability to go and start collecting the fragments for the outfit. We're at 17,000 divination fragments as well, which is also very nice. Now, when you do divination, you can also train hunter when you capture the chronicles, and we've been doing that quite actively on mod 79. I've been trying to go out my way to catch any of the free ones floating around, and because of that, we are level 48 hunter. So we've probably got maybe something like 25 hunter levels just from doing divination, which is great. It's such a nice way to train out early level sorts of hunter levels. And at level 49, I can actually go and do the Crimson Spirit Moth on Haven Hive as well, which is going to be very, very nice for us to do, because it's going to be another way for us getting some Crimson Charms, possibly one of the better ways for us to go and get Crimson Charms as well. So really, really happy with that. 78 divination, which we're going to go and actually level up a little bit now. And we're only 20k off 79 smithing. So in terms of where we are in terms of invention, we are so close. And in this episode, we are actually going to hopefully unlock it as well. Now, something I was doing last night, which I'm going to show you when we go to the Grand Exchange, was doing a little bit of construction as well. We're now at 7.2k from 79 construction. So I had a stack of refined yew planks, which I've turned into frames. We've actually put these in for a little bit of a high price. 18,000 coins over mid, and we managed to sell half of them overnight as well, which is really nice actually. We've kind of ignored the money making skills for a little bit, and I have spent a little bit of money as well over the past couple of days. What I was doing for a while is to speed up divination. You can actually use energy along with your memories to go and get double XP. Really, you're losing cash by sort of spending money on energy, but the rate it gives you is basically double the divination rate. It's less time paying divination. So I have kind of spent about 5 mil on energy to go and sort of push divination through. But really, in the grand scheme of things, like all the money making we did earlier on, this allows me to do things like this and to spend money on the skill as well. So that's really, really nice. I've also as well noticed that dragon bones are just over 1,000 coins each, which is absolutely criminal how cheap a dragon bone is. So I've just put an offer in on the Grand Exchange for roughly around 10,000 coins to see if they'll buy a little bit cheaper than what I should have, just to see if they're going to pick up as well. I've been managing to sell some of my yew planks for 4,000 coins each. We didn't pay this. I probably paid like 1,000 coins or something like that. Very cheap for the yew plank. But because they're so up in price and so up and down, I've been managing to sell those over time. Now, the Jackalope Antlers is going to be for the brand new familiar, the Jackalope familiar, which is very good for archaeology. Now, what I'm just trying to do is just try and gradually buy some antlers slowly on the Grand Exchange, and then I can use my gold charms for profit and also keep a decent selection for myself as well. Now, also, we have a 70 mil cash stack, which is nice. It's probably the biggest the cash stack's been for a little bit of a time. And what I'm really heavily debating, I don't think I'm going to do it in this episode, but a Grace Reveals is 52.4 mil. And this will transform quite a lot of skilling going forward and maybe even collection money making. So I'm not too sure what we're going to do with it. We can now make decent porters as well. So this is much more viable than what it was. But that's something we're going to be considering over the next couple of episodes. But what we're going to go and do first is going to hand in some engrams. Now, if you don't know what engrams are, they are sort of like a little distraction diversion or a little mini game which you can do with divination. And basically, you need to go and unlock it, and to do that, you can just teleport with memory strands to all Fairweather. So if you speak to all of Fairweather, you can go and do like the introduction to it as well. And basically, what you can do is go and find these engrams which are dotted around the game. They do have some benefits later on, once you've sort of powered them up and put them into the fountain of energy and into the pool as well. So there's going to be some benefits which are really good for us. One is that it's going to extend the life of wisps, but also it's going to give us quadruple XP in Divination in DG. So in Demonheim, we'll get quadruple the XP for harvesting Divination energy, which is going to be really nice. And also putting it into the Rift will be quadruple XP. So it's going to be massively beneficial and the best way for us to go and train Divination in the long run. So once you find these engrams, you basically have to use some of these memory strands along with some Divination energy to go and charge them. And once you charge them, you bring them to Aula, and then that's when you're going to get the big bump of XP we're about to get to as well. Now, what I can do is, if you want me to do a video where I show you guys all the locations and how to do the whole process, I can do that, not a problem. It's not anything too intensive. Again, the wiki's really good at showing you all the locations and stuff as well. So if you want me to do a video, drop in a comment. More than happy to do it. I just didn't think it was worthwhile showing you how long it is as well. But there's still some we need to unlock. So when I do the next one, I'll just make sure to go and show you. So what I'm going to do now is just speak to Aula, and because of this, we're going to go and get these XP drop. And after that, we got a big XP drop of 220k XP. We are 43k away from level 80 Divination, which is absolutely massive. Like, we have flown up in terms of this level so quick, and I'm really happy with how we've done Divination. And the fact I've sort of been sick has kind of been a blessing in disguise, because it gave me the time and I just didn't want to do anything else. So that's why we've done Divination, and that's why we've caught it up so well as well. So what we'll do by the end of the video, I'll go and finish off 80 Divination. Now, what I would say as well, which has been incredibly nice for doing this Divination training, caches. Caches, because they've changed it in terms of a Dailyscape overhaul, as long as you're not doing it on World 79, you'll pretty much get a cache world to yourself, which basically means you can literally just do it however you want. And it's just so nice to get it sorted. In terms of just running around and doing the cache fit, you just basically get the XP. And I'm really using cache a lot more than I ever have before. Beforehand, even in Group Iron Man, I did it occasionally because, again, it's really good XP. Whereas now, whenever I've done the 800 memories, I jump in to do the cache because it's just so much easier when you're on a world by yourself, and all the little updates and tweaks and these unstable wisps they brought in just make it so nice. Now, in terms of the caches, I have done a video on it, so I'll link it to make sure you guys can go and check it out if you want to. But really, what you want to make sure to do is be an automaton as much as you can, and then just go and disable all these. And that'll be the quickest way to go and get your points, and then just run to the rift in between whenever you're waiting for it to respawn. But this will probably send me half the way to level 80, which is really nice. And then pretty much after that, it's just smithing. And smithing, especially, is just going to be something I just AFK and just do away as well. Now, what I could do, I kind of messed up smithing a little bit because I didn't do Doric's tasks. So Doric's tasks could be something we can do for some bonus XP. But really, just for one level, I might just go and buy some bars and we can go and get invention unlocked by the end of the video as well. So because I was unwell, if I haven't mentioned it enough already, I haven't really done my player-owned farms as well. So that's something on my list to go and do today as well, is to go and do my player-owned farms. And I think we're in for a big bump of XP, and we're going to get an awful lot of levels as well, which will be decent really. And then after that, I'm kind of where I thought I'd need to be. I'm not sort of where I want to be in terms of quests, so it might be a big quest arc to get going. But I want to go and try archaeology with the antelope as well, because I think that's going to be really nice. Archaeology, especially that early spot in Karid Et, is actually making profit because you can make historic components. So that could be, especially for this account, where like I need to go and get a decent amount of relics to get the sort of qualifications for professor and all that later on. Could be a really good way to make some money. So that is going to pretty much be the catch up on this account. Divination earns as well have been massive. So the earns have really given us a decent amount of XP. Using energy to get double XP as well, at a price admittedly, but what I'm thinking of that was, the early stages I kept all the energy, and that should have paid off for the later levels as well. But massive, really massive. And once we've done this, I'll go back to Aula. We can refine our engrams to actually be the best for Divination in Dungeoneering as well, which I'll talk you guys through. But this is a long ramble of catching up where I've been in terms of this account. But we've kind of just been AFKing away. The fact we've done some frames last night as well really means that the GP's back where it should be. I've been spending a lot of cash lately on player-owned farms, on training Divination and stuff like that. So the fact we've been able just to make a little bit of GP, just doing some frames is really nice. But I do have a feeling at some point, we're going to make that big boy purchase of the Grace of the Elves, and I'm going to have to look at some other stuff to make some cash as well. I want to go and explore Haven Hive. I think Haven Hive will be really nice to go and train some levels. Definitely for some of the melee stats as well. I think the Ivar Mall will be pretty nice. We can go try stuff like that out. But really, I want to kind of ramp up the speed of which we're on this series. I was kind of hoping Haven Hive would be a little bit more than what it is. I think obviously the update later in the year is going to be the real massive one for Haven Hive. That's when it's going to sort of contain most of the content. But yeah, I think we can still explore it. We can still find some stuff. Yes, it's a little bit stale now because it's been out for a little while, but I think just to level this account up, it's worthwhile using it as well. However, I have rambled for a little bit now, so what I'm literally going to go and do is just go and get the rest of my divination level. I'm going to get the rest of the smithing as well, and then what we'll do is come here when it's time to unlock invention. We'll do the invention tutorial, and then we'll move on from there and basically move on and progress. But that's a very broad overview of what I've done for the past 2 weeks. That's how long it's been since I've really recorded the clips. In the video where we talked about monthlies, I also got 54 agility as well, so we can actually go and do the Buisness course at some point, but maybe not now. So gonna go and finish off invention, and then we'll come back when it's time to unlock and time to go and do the tutorial. Okay, so we have just time skipped probably a day since we recorded that previous clip, just because I've been AFKing away. And I am happy to announce that we are going to be probably a few minutes, or probably a few seconds actually, we don't need that much XP, away from finally unlocking invention. So we are 800 XP away from 80 divination, and we are 5000 XP away from smithing, but I do have a daily challenge locked for it as well. Pretty good daily challenges today. We also have agility as well as thieving, which is nice. And if you look at my chat as well, we have sold all of those U-frames as well. So for U-frames, we've actually managed to sell 18,000 coins above the Grand Exchange price each, which is really nice. It's given us a massive bit of cash to deal with as well. The smithing, I actually didn't need to turn these into burial armor as well, so we can going to sell the Necronium plate bodies on the Grand Exchange, see what we can get back for it. I did spend roughly something like 7.5 mil on Necronium bars, so if I can get some of that back, just so we've not spent so much on smithing, would be really, really nice. But we'll just see how we get on. So the first level we're going to go and unlock is going to be level 80 Divination. Again, I've enjoyed Divination. I thought it's been a nice little chill break. And it's definitely something I'll keep leveling up going forward as well. It's going to be one of those AFK skills I rotate sort of around. I think the next thing we're going to do in terms of an AFK skill, and there is level 80. We'll talk about the AFK skill in a second. But level 80 is really nice because that's going to be the Light Within. Twilight of the Gods, Brilliant Wisps. We can do the Boon of Brilliant Energy in a moment as well. Invention is obviously something we're really happy with as well. We can create the Divination outfits, which we do have quite a decent amount stacked up as well. And we can also use the Memory Dowser if ever we get to a point where we've got that much cash. So 80 Divination, really, really happy with that as well. Can I make the Boon? No, I need to go get some more. Yeah, I'll go and buy some energy when we go to the Grand Exchange, but really happy with that. So let's go to the Grand Exchange really quickly. So the next thing I was going to talk about was the AFK-ness, like what I'm going to do to AFK. I think I'm going to go and try and buy some of those jackalopes. I've actually got some antlers, so I might actually go make some pouches and see how good that's going to make lower level divination. What that jackalope actually does is kind of replace the auto screener for a little while. It's going to basically take the soil as a beast of burden, and then while it's stored in the beast of burden side of the familiar, it's going to also screen that soil and turn a third into materials as well. So really interested to see how that's going to go. So let's just go and do a little bit of admin really quickly. So we have sold all of the U frames, which is 36 mil on top of what we've already got, which is really, really nice. I'm going to go and put these Necronium bodies in for just under a mil because I think it's going to be an item which, again, no one's really going to sell much of a +4s on the Grand Exchange, so we may as well try and see if we can buy a little bit more. The Dragon Modes haven't bought, but what I'll probably try and do is just sell them for a little bit higher. I took out my Orichalcum bars yesterday, which I had spare. They weren't buying for like 18k, so I was just going to try and be a little bit cheeky, see if we can get a little bit more for them. I have been buying some Jackalope antlers as well because the pouches are so sporadic, and I was going to try and see if I can make some summoning money, but there'll be something we'll go and try out in the future, definitely. And then what we need to go and do now is just go and hand in our daily challenges. So we're going to have pickpocketing for thieving, a daily smithing, daily agility. That's going to give us some levels. So good news is we've now hit level 80 smithing, which is the important one. That's going to be invention, 48 thieving, and we've also got a decent chunk of agility XP as well. But 80 smithing is really the important one. That's going to give us the Brink of Extinction quest. We can now do invention as well. That is the final skill for that. We can also do some obsidian. We can do Caspian smithing. Crystal tools as well is really nice. We can do Gorgonite and Demonheim and use the Tagger's core hammer as well, which might be something worthwhile using because I think it helps with your mining as well, which is also very nice. And then 48 thieving is just going to give us the ability to get double loot from master farmers. That's underrated at the minute because any form of seeds we've shown, like in the player owned farm series as well, very, very expensive. So yeah, we've finally done it. It's been a massive goal going forward, but we now have invention unlocked. I have just realized though, while like kind of wrapping this up, I don't have levels to augment gear. So most of the gears you can augment is going to be around level 70 defense and 70 combat stats. We don't have that. We're quite far off that, to be fair. And because of that, we can't really augment or train anything. And at the minute, I can't even use things like a dragon hatchet to go into skill with, or a pickaxe or anything like that. So yes, we've unlocked invention, but we've not really unlocked many ways to go and train it. And don't get me wrong, until you can go and augment something, you can't really use much. Until you can do like level 10s, you don't really like progress and level much. But we need to have a bit of a think of what we're going to do. So maybe the combat arc is going to come a little bit quicker. To be able to do Reaper tasks now, you need to go and get like level 45 Slayer. So maybe that's something we can do. And I think with invention, it's going to be a nice sort of way to wrap up the first part of this series. Like, we're going to do it in chapters anyway, and I think this and invention is a really good way to sort of end that first chapter, and then the next one can be a real big push in terms of the combat and stuff like that as well. Now, one good thing is that with the release of Havenhive, you do have 2 brand new bosses, and what I've been thinking about doing is that obviously we want to be utilizing war a lot more. We can go and farm things like Ivar and also the Dreadhog to go and get Boss KC, and with Boss KC we can then go and progress even more in war by unlocking a lot of things as well. I'll be doing the bosses not with the idea that I'll be making a lot of money, because I probably won't, but it could be some really nice collections to go and finish, go and get some early level pets, but also rack up that KC to go and do some bossing as well. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to be and go and finish that up. What I'm going to go and do now, but I'm going to probably wrap the video up here because again, you guys don't really want to see it. I'm just going to go complete the invention tutorial, and then we'll start the second series and the next episode with moving on from there. So what we're going to do is going to be a big push on combat. I'm going to finish this episode and this series by getting invention, but then also making our first big purchase, and that is going to be the Grace of the Elves. I've sat on it, I've thought about it, and I just think for pure AFKness going forward, it is going to be something which is going to be greatly beneficial, and I just think we'll have more than enough money, and the fact we bought it 5 mil cheaper than what it was as well, I think we're just going to have a lot of uses for it. 47 mil for a Grace of the Elves actually really isn't that bad, and I'm very happy actually we've made some money with it as well. So if I was to sort of look at the valuation for the account now, probably 130 mil once I equip this and make it non-tradable. So that's another thing as well. As soon as we equip this becomes untradeable. We can't get our money back for it. But that is going to wrap up a pretty monumental episode. Like I've said before, invention unlocked, Grace of the Elves secured. That is a big move, but where we're going to have to go for the future is going to be towards combat, getting things ready for invention, but we'll start that game plan off at the next episode. Really hope you guys are looking forward to it. Really hope you guys have been enjoying the videos lately. Again, Grab the Hog is going to appear quite a lot more now because I've got some time to play it. I'm feeling better, and now it's time to really start to push the account because I think we have been a little bit lacking in speed. So we're going to speed up a little bit. I've shown you guys how to bed the account in, how to grow the account in terms of levels, and in terms of what's going to come in the next series. Combat stats, we're going to go and look at some different money makers. We need to sort of wrap that up as well because invention is going to be quite a big money sink, and pretty much go from there. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.